Just two dudes having a conversation. You're my friend and I trust you.
Hey.
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 What's up?
Not a whole lot.
I feel like I haven't seen you in a year.
Even though it's been 3 days.
Since Sunday. Today is Wednesday?
Yeah.
Oh. It just felt like a long time.
Yeah.
Because we haven't even really texted since Sunday.
That's true.
Just like maybe a couple gifts
Yeah.
sent back and forth.
I feel like that's the majority of my texting anymore.
It's just gifts.
It's just gifts.
That's all I expect whenever I text you.
Yeah.
Like, you're pretty good at gift sending, and so am I. But to the point where we could probably have a conversation and like plot out like plan like a lunch.
Yeah.
Like where and the time, just by using gifts.
Yeah. I don't doubt ourselves.
I have faith in us. This is all screwed up. I adjusted my mic stand right before we started, and I just screwed it all up.
Regret.
Yeah.
Throwing off your game.
Ooh.
I have such a annoying thing going on.
Yeah.
So, you ever like randomly start getting these emails from places that they say you've subscribed to?
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay. So, yeah, right.
The sun is right in my eyes.
We've never podcasted at this time of day.
Yeah. It's 5:30 right now.
Yeah, 5:30 in the evening.
And the window that was so nice in the morning time is now just putting me right into the sun. What's your thing? Before we get into that, this is Your My Friend and I Trust You.
Yes.
It's a podcast on Back Row Radio and also online and other places.
That's right. Welcome back.
Welcome.
Yes.
Back.
So, this random thing,
Sure.
I keep getting emails from dickmorris.com.
Okay.
Who is like from what I can gather, is some super conservative politician from New York.
Oh boy. Okay.
And I'm like, I don't know how I got subscribed to it because that's not something I would have like signed up for.
Yeah.
And I've tried to unsubscribe because there's usually the little unsubscribe thing.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So I click it. It takes me to their website. I have to type in my email address to unsubscribe.
To unsubscribe.
Yeah.
That's weird.
And then they always send me this email.
It says no reply. You are not a member of any of the selected lists, but it still keeps sending you stuff?
Yes.
What the heck?
Yeah. And like, I mean, I get that I could just like mark it and it would just go to my spam box, but I feel like I shouldn't have to on this.
Yeah, it's the principle of the thing at this point.
Exactly.
Who's Dick Morris?
I'm
gonna look him up. Dick Morris, politician.
dickmorris.com is his website, I think.
I'm gonna do it the really annoying way. Okay, Google. Who is Dick Morris, politician from New York? Oh no, I'm not on. Wait. Oh no, that worked. I got it. My phone is so slow, but it heard me say, "Who is Dick Morris, politician from New York?" Oh no. He's a guest commentator and political prognosticator. I don't know what that word means. Prognosticator. Prognosticator.
Hey Siri, what does prognosticator mean? Oh, what does prognosticator mean? Foretell or prophesy an event in the future.
So he's a political like guesser.
Prophet.
Yeah. He's gonna guess. He probably like weighs in on like elections and stuff. Like,
what's he guessed on? Is it Fox News? I feel like it's probably Fox News.
Probably. Here's a picture of him speaking at a Tea Party rally in 2011. He looks like a politician.
He does.
Imagine a Republican politician. And he's just smiling real big. That's what you got. Ooh, he was a friend and advisor to Bill Clinton during his time as governor in Arkansas.
So, is he a Democrat? Whoa.
Democrat? No,
My voice has been doing weird things recently.
Oh, wait. Okay. So he was Republican. This is confusing. Okay. So he was Republican before 1992.
Is he a flip-flopper?
Yeah. And then he was a Democrat from 1992 to 2011. And now he's a Republican again. Bill Clinton was just like, hey, you need a job? And he was like,
Right.
I could be a Democrat for a few years, I guess.
Yep. What's it pay?
Right? Probably really well. And also, I don't know. I just feel like every politician is getting under the table money and stuff. You know? You know what I mean?
Except for the Kane from WWE is now a governor.
Yeah, that's
or a
right.
mayor.
Yeah.
A mayor in Tennessee.
You don't think he would take some bribes?
I don't know.
Would you take bribes?
He actually, I think he's a libertarian. No, I'm not saying that, like, since they're libertarian, they're not going to take bribes.
Right.
But I feel like it's slightly more hopeful than...
I feel like nobody wants to try to bribe him.
That's probably true.
Because he'd be like, you trying to bribe me? And just choke slam him onto his desk. Would you take a bribe, though?
I mean, I don't know.
Let's say that you saw somebody get murdered.
Am I a politician?
No, you're just you.
Okay.
You're walking out on the street. You see somebody get murdered. Somebody who the murderer or the murderer's party, whoever that might be. It's not like a party of murder. Like it's like the murderer's group,
party.
his constituents.
Mm-hmm.
I'm speaking very politically right now. I don't know why. So the murderer, he sees you. He sees that you have seen him kill somebody. So he straddles on over and he's like, hey, I'm going to give you $2 million. You don't say anything about this. That's more hush money than a bribe, but would you...
I mean, is he saying, if you don't, I'll kill you?
Unclear. He just looks like a kind of rough dude. You don't know if he's going to kill you. He might... You don't know how deep his proverbial pockets of
because the thing
morality goes.
The thing is, though, I mean, he could give you the money, you turn around and he shoots you anyway.
Yeah, that's right.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm probably taking the money on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like there's less chance of me getting murdered in the moment if I take the money.
Yeah.
Even though I'm pretty sure, like, a paid off witness isn't as good as a dead witness.
That's true. Yeah.
In terms of from the suspect.
Mm-hmm.
So I take the money at the moment.
Yeah.
And then I figure out what to do later.
Gotcha. How'd you hide a body? If you were the murderer, how would you hide the body? I've thought about this. I have a plan already.
Breaking Bad style.
Dissolve it?
Yeah.
Yeah, in the tub?
Although I don't know what chemicals that is, but...
Is it hydrochloric acid? I think it's hydrochloric acid, but you need a certain type of plastic because it'll eat. Like in Breaking Bad, it ate the bottom of the tub.
Yeah.
So you need a certain type of plastic to do that. Most like chemical style barrels, like those blue plastic barrels, that'll be good. So what you want to do is you want to put some hydrochloric acid in one of those barrels. You're probably going to have to chop the body up a little bit, like hack off the limbs, and then drop it in that barrel. Let it dissolve a little bit. You put that barrel, you close that barrel off, put the lid on, seal it real tight.
Truck.
Nope, you put it in a river, man. Just right into a swamp. Let it sink to the bottom. Nobody's going to find it. That's what I would do, hypothetically, if I needed to get rid of a body.
Oh.
Let me show you something really quick. I'm going to stand up. I'm going to step away from the mic really quick. But I'm going to have to take my shirt off for a second.
What is going on? What's happening?
Do you see that?
You got very sunburnt.
I'm fried, man.
What did you do?
I was riding Okay, so I was riding motorcycles on Labor Day, which is this past Monday. We were out for probably like 8 hours, and I wore a cutoff the whole time. And around hour 6, I just started feeling like I got something going on here. And then I would notice it a lot whenever I would go through shade, because it would just feel like a sweet release of cool wave. And then I get back in the sun and just be like, ah.
Or like almost like makes you cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I got home and was just on fire. This is probably one of the worst sunburns I've had. But it's like right on my shoulder blades and then my upper like arm. And it feels okay now.
Yeah.
But Tuesday I couldn't even put a shirt on. It hurts so bad.
You know what I swear by this remedy for sunburn, at least the sting of it. As hot of a shower as you can possibly stand for as long as you can stand it.
Really?
Yeah. They told me to do that like when I got a tattoo. They said run your arm, like when it starts itching and like burning, stick it under the faucet as hot as water as you can stand for as long as you can stand. It does something with your pores or something. I don't know.
Opens them up or something?
Yeah,
Probably opens them up.
But every time I've gotten a sunburn, that's what I don't do the aloe or whatever, but I just get in the shower.
My mom put vinegar in the sink and then got like washcloths and soaked up the vinegar in washcloths and then put that on. Because apparently that draws the heat out. What you're not supposed to do is put like lotion on.
Yeah.
So trap that heat in.
Yeah, that's what, like aloe, they say, just clogs your pores.
Really?
Yeah, like it gives you a cooling sensation, but then you'll get really hot because your pores are clogged.
I will say though, my girlfriend gave me ocean potion is what it's called.
Yeah.
It's like I think it's aloe with lidocaine in it. And that stuff is fantastic.
I bet.
Because it kind of like numbs you a little bit.
Yeah.
Or whatever lidocaine does. I don't really know what it does, but I just know that I like it. And you're not supposed to use like too much.
Yeah.
In like in a certain time frame, so that tells me it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm dealing with that right now. Just trying to work through
That's
that.
the word. Like everything, like sleeping sucks when you have a sunburn,
Yeah.
and like moving,
Yeah.
like just everything is worse.
Like that first night, like I like to lay on my sides and my shoulders are fried, so I couldn't sleep. Well, it was hard. I'd managed to eventually fall asleep on my side, but I'd be on one side and be like, I need to roll over to the other side. Like a whole process to get over there.
Do you think you'll eventually end up with skin cancer?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, if I were to ask you that same question, the answer would probably be yes, because of cell phones. Like that one time that we talked about cell phones and how you think that they're poisoning us slowly with the radio waves. But I think, I don't know, because I'm really not that fair skinned.
Yeah.
Like this is day 3 and it's already turning into a tan. Like it was horrible Tuesday. You should have seen it yesterday morning. But it's already like tanning up a little bit.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if there's any validity to that. Like if you have darker skin, you're less susceptible to skin cancer.
I think that they say like fair skinned people are more, but it still doesn't, like, just because like, you know, we're both kind of dark complected, like, well, we can still get it. And actually my aunt, she had a cancer scare recently. She was able to get treated and everything, but within that they do gene marker or DNA marker testing. And
what is that?
They test your DNA and they can tell you like what markers you have for certain diseases. And so like from that, and obviously she's my aunt, so there's some like same genes, but obviously I have my whole other side.
Right.
But like I guess like pancreatic cancer is a marker that she had, and melanoma. So, and a couple other things. But, so like for me now, knowing that, it's like, well, there's at least one person in my family who showed that. Like, I don't think I'd ever want a test like that run on me, because like I would rather just not know until it happens.
Sure.
Because otherwise that's all I'll think about.
Right.
But at least now that I know that, like, you know, as the years progress and I go get different checkups, whatever, I can. That's something I can at least be more aware of.
Right.
Will I put sunscreen on to go mow the yard? Probably not.
Even though I just got as toasted as I've ever gotten, I still, like, if you were to say, let's go for an 8-hour ride tomorrow, I still wouldn't put sunscreen on.
I don't like having it on me. Like, I smell different, and like some of them can just like make you so greasy.
Yeah. The spray stuff isn't bad because you don't have to like lather up your hands, you know, and then like either wash your hands or just deal with overly sunscreened hands, you know. But I don't know, it's just a huge hassle. And also there's still, I've come around on a lot of this stuff, but there's still a lot of like defiance in me. Like with my mom telling me like, put a coat on. Yeah. Put a coat on. There's still some of me that's like, you know what? No.
Yeah, I don't have to anymore.
Yeah.
Yep.
I do put a lot of coats on now though. I just don't like to freeze to death, you know?
Right.
And I realized like, oh, if I just take an extra coat with me, if I get too warm, I'll just take it off and then I'm fine, you know?
Yeah.
But
then you got to figure out something to do with it.
Yeah, well, that's the cool thing about having a girlfriend. Is just like, hey, can you tie this around your waist? And yeah, no problem.
That's fair.
Yeah, but like sunscreen, not for me.
Yeah,
no thanks.
Yeah, not
no
a fan.
Thanks. Yeah, I have a hard enough time just finding the time to trim my toenails.
Which I think it's funny. I mean, yeah, that too. Have I told you how my pinky toenails grow straight up?
Yeah, you have. It's so weird. Just poking holes in all your shoes.
Seriously, like they'll get stuck on my socks if I don't trim them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I get hangnails on my pinky toes all the time.
Really?
Yeah, it's the worst because you put a sock on and it just pulls on that. Oh, it's so annoying. If you were to let your toenails grow, if you were to cut holes on the top of your shoes and just let your pinky toenails grow, do you think they would eventually come up through your shoes?
Probably.
That'd be so hilarious. I would pay to see that.
I think it's funny. I was going to say before I went to the toenails.
Yeah.
Is that, like, you and I, we're not related.
Right.
But, like, some people have wondered if we were. Because we're both with dark hair, dark features. And we both now are dating redheads with very fair skin. So it's like, we hate sunscreen. And they, like, constantly have it with them.
Emily, my girlfriend, went outside for half an hour and was sitting in the shade and got burned. That's how fair skinned she is. I feel so bad for her, dude. And then I can just go outside. And I got fried, but now it's tan.
Right. Yeah. Yep. Although I will say, on our honeymoon, we went down to the Caribbean, and you know, Allie was constantly putting on sunscreen or whatever, which is fine. But she did get like a little bit tan, like especially on her back. And I kid you not, a year later, you could still see her tan lines like on her back from her swimsuit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Don't you like shed your skin completely in a year though?
I don't know.
It must have gone super deep, like down to the muscle.
Right?
See that tanned muscle.
Yeah. Would that be like jerky or?
I don't know. Well, that's what I was thinking. Like with this,
Yeah.
like I got cooked, right?
Basically.
It's like you put me in the microwave for just a couple seconds, you know?
Yeah.
That's essentially what it is, right?
I think.
So now I'm like uncooking. As my sunburn is going away, I'm like...
So are you spoiling?
I don't know, because I'm still alive, so there's nothing that's rotting.
But your skin is dying.
Well, your skin dies all the time.
So are we all rotting?
I'm going to say... Well, Well, would you call like hair loss rotting, like losing a hair, like that just falls out naturally, not from like going bald or anything, but like run your fingers
Like
through
if your
hair,
follicle dies?
I guess, yeah. Well, that's just the way of life, man. That's the circle of life.
That's true.
You know?
You make skin, you lose skin.
Yeah. Do you know that in a skin cell, or in all your cells, I guess, all over you, so pick a cell randomly off your body, it has the DNA code to make every other part of your body. So the skin cells on your arm have, and I might have talked about this before, but they have the DNA code to make an eyeball.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. The human body is, I don't comprehend it fully.
I don't think anybody really does.
But like how, especially eyeballs. I was thinking about this the other day.
Yeah.
How we can just like see things.
Right.
And interpret.
Yeah.
Our brains can interpret what we're seeing.
And did you know that your eyeball itself sees everything upside down?
Yeah.
And then your brain flips it.
Yeah. Which is weird.
Why?
Yeah. Is
Why
everything actually upside down?
Are we upside down? Whoa.
Right? I also was I never realized one of the things I really like doing, like I enjoy photography. Mm-hmm. And so like when looking at cameras and stuff, you look at the megapixels that it has. Mm-hmm. So my camera I think has like 21 megapixels or something.
Yeah.
It's not the nicest camera, but it's pretty nice. Do you know how many megapixels the human eye has?
No.
535.
And how many does your camera have?
20.
Whoa.
Yeah. Because like someone had asked, like, it'd be nice if they just made a camera that can see just what you see.
Yeah.
And they're like, we can't right now.
Wow. That's incredible.
Right?
Jeez.
It kind of blew my mind.
Yeah, my mind is, I don't really know what to say to it because, like, just holy cow,
Yeah.
Like those 4K TVs. Mm-hmm. I feel like whenever I look at one of those, I'm seeing like better than I do in real life.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. So is that more? What makes that better than real life, or at least appear that way?
I don't know if it's like enhancements that they do digitally.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The colors are more vivid.
Right.
That makes sense.
So would you, speaking of like eyes and stuff,
Yeah.
would you rather lose your eyesight or your hearing?
Oh, hearing for sure.
Yeah.
I legit fear being blind.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Why is that?
Just now, just shut your eyes right now. So do you have your eyes shut?
I do.
Mine are shut. Could just sit here for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Now, somebody could have come in. I'm opening my eyes again. But somebody could have come in at any given time during that little silence and just killed us. Just boom, boom. You're dead. And we wouldn't even hurt them. Even though I know what you're about to say. I see your eyebrows going up. You're going to say that your hearing increases, that your other senses increase.
Yeah.
But what if they're really, 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 really quiet? They're really sneaky.
You got me.
Or you're in like a really loud place, and there's just too much auditory stimulation that you can't like pick anything out.
Yeah, I like that's one like I feel like depending on the day is I'm back and forth on.
Yeah,
because like we both like playing music. We like music.
Yeah.
But then I think about how, if you lose your hearing, well, one, I feel like there's more technology and research done and available right now to help repair hearing loss than eyesight.
Yeah.
And so I feel like there would be more hope in that. Like,
Yeah.
we've got the cochlear implants and stuff like that. But also, you lose your eyesight, you lose driving, like a lot of just independence. Whereas like you lose your hearing,
Yeah.
you can still do, basically everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Think about never hearing your wife's voice again, though. Or you're not, that I know of, expecting kids unless you have a bomb to drop on the podcast.
I do not.
You'll never hear your kids laugh.
Right.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, on the flip side of that coin, you can never see your kids at all. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of picking between the lesser of two evils, but to me, I'd rather be able to see, because I can still function. I feel like I can function more normally in the world without hearing than I could without eyesight.
Right.
Like you said, I could still drive. I could still watch movies, just turn on the subtitles.
Yeah. And like, especially like movies and specifically, like, yeah, you could still listen to a movie, but you could watch a movie now on mute and have subtitles.
Yeah.
And still like take in the cinematic experience. And like, yeah. Does it make us sound bad for like debating this way?
I don't think so.
No,
I don't.
For those who are,
I don't think so.
No, I just thought about that.
I don't have any real good reasons why.
Yeah,
but I don't think so. If you give me like 2 seconds, I could probably come up with stuff. But
you can angry tweet us if you are.
Yeah, angry tweet us. I'll maybe tweet you back.
We just want anyone to tweet us right at this point.
we do. We really do. I just thought about this when we were talking about subtitles with movies. How cool would it be with VR becoming what it is? Like you think about somebody that can't hear going into a movie theater. They can't really watch movies in movie theaters. Like there's select theaters that will have like select showings with subtitles. But think about this: you just put on VR glasses, and everything looks the same. It just projects subtitles on the screen for you.
You should patent that.
I should patent that. Holy crap, man!
Better edit that out.
I'm gonna edit it out. I'm at least gonna write it down. So
good idea. At 27 minutes.
Subtitle glasses for movies.
Yeah.
Nobody take it, because I will sue you for intellectual property theft.
That's right. Although, at this point, probably someone's already working on it.
Probably, most likely. What can you even do anymore?
I know.
We're working on everything.
Yeah.
You just got to think way outside the box.
Yeah.
Like subway tunnels or car tunnels, like what Elon Musk is trying to do.
How do you feel about self-driving vehicles like the Tesla?
I think there's a huge debate going on right now, like with the semi-truck that they just unveiled. Self-driving semi. I don't know if they have an actual prototype out yet, but they revealed like the model, at least like online. But that's, what was it? Something staggering, like 20 or 30% maybe. And I could be way off on this. A large percentage of our like labor force relies on driving to make money. So think all the truck drivers out of jobs, cabbies out of jobs. I guess Uber and Lyft are now essentially employing millions of people.
Yeah.
So all those people out of jobs. I don't know. And then that sparks another thing of just automation taking over.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't want to be against technology and advancement.
Yeah.
But at some point, like, is it bad?
Yeah.
Like, because people do need jobs and like means to survive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's going to stop the implementation of technology in the workplace.
Yeah.
I don't see employers saying like, oh, we could either keep on all of these people or hire these machines or install these machines and save millions of dollars every year, but we're going to keep on the employees because we're kind-hearted.
Yeah,
I don't see that happening.
Yeah.
So then that sparks the question of, well, what about what is that called? The wage.
Minimum wage?
Not minimum wage, like where everybody gets paid something and doesn't have to work.
Like socialism?
Kind of, yeah, but there's a name for it. It's not socialism. I guess it might be socialism, but shoot, man. Universal income.
Okay.
Where just everybody is given the same amount They don't have to work like you're given $50,000 every year because machines have taken over. And what can you do? I mean, you're free to like try to open your own business and pursue whatever you want to pursue.
Yeah.
But other than that, you don't really have to work because machines do everything.
So would that just be a base payment and like, because like the problem traditionally like with like a socialist country or whatever is like you have doctors making the same as someone not working, and so then healthcare goes down because why would I want to be a doctor?
Right. Yeah, I don't know the specifics of it, of at least what they're talking about implementing here in America, and the exact details of all that. But from the little that I do know, I think it's just like a base, and then you're free to do whatever. Like you could be a doctor if you wanted to. You could open your own business, get a lawn care company, make your own lawn care company, do that.
You think that would lead though to just a crazy amount of inflation to where then that the $50,000 doesn't really do me any good anymore. Yeah.
Kind of off topic, but talking about inflation. I saw a picture.
What's happened to us?
What?
From our beginnings to what we're talking about now.
I know.
It's because we sit up now.
I know. We're so good at talking now. Like the early episodes, we're just like,
Most of it's just breathing into the mic.
yeah, we were just desperate for anything that wasn't silence.
We're talking about economics and
right, and like I don't feel completely stupid talking about this stuff.
And I'm also totally okay with being completely wrong with everything I'm saying.
Oh, me too, for sure. If I guarantee you, I'm at least 60% wrong on all this stuff. But the one thing that like doing this podcast is cool for is I just don't care really what I say, as long as I don't offend anybody.
Yeah,
or like hurt anybody through what I say. I'm completely fine with what I say. I'm cool with making a fool of myself,
Yeah.
all that stuff. I'm down with it. Yeah. But to get back to the inflation thing, I saw a man. Why is a man called John written on here? Oh, from a previous episode, probably.
I have no idea.
Maybe it was one of those PureFlix films.
Oh, I think it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, I looked down and saw a man called John written on our edit notepad and got very confused. But I saw a picture on Twitter of back in Germany after World War II, when their economy basically crashed and their money was worth nothing. Kids with just wheelbarrows full of money. And it was just basically just paper.
Right. Useless.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's going on in, is it Venezuela?
I don't know. I didn't hear about that.
I think it's Venezuela right now. They just switched to a, I think, again, could be totally wrong, switched to like a socialist platform. And I think inflation has gone up like 500%.
Oh, my word.
Yeah. To where no one has jobs. Like bread costs like what we like a few grand in American, like it's a few grand for them.
Wow.
Like it's just not worth, like their money's not worth anything.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So when that happens, I guess how do you rectify that? How do you recover from that? Do you just have to switch your government entirely and try something else?
I guess.
Because I don't think a bailout would work in that sort of situation.
No, because like
that would only.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of civil unrest too, obviously.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. I know Nicaragua is real hot right now.
Is it?
We used to go down, my school, we used to go down to Nicaragua on a mission trip, the senior class every year. We were connected with this husband and wife whose kids had previously gone to my high school, but they owned an orphanage down there, or were like a contributing factor. And they were down there probably like 5 or 4 months out of the year. And now they haven't gone down in probably like a year because Nicaragua is getting safe. Yeah, it's getting real unsafe. And it was really unsafe way back in the 70s. There was like a lot of like Republic, I guess, fighting against the government.
Yeah.
So you had like little like village militias rising up and just fighting in the streets and stuff. And I really don't want that to happen again down there because
Right.
It gets pretty brutal and pretty disturbing pretty quickly, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I don't know. Do you think that could ever happen in America?
I don't know, honestly.
I'm talking about like, I guess when I asked you that question, I was talking about like inflation getting to that point, the economy kind of crashing. But now I want to ask it again and put on, do you think that there could ever be militia uprisings against the government in America that are actually effective?
That are actually effective?
Yeah.
No.
I don't think so either. I think our military is too powerful.
Yeah. And the technology that they have that we don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, yeah. I mean, there's a whole arguments based off of that too. Like, you know, the whole point was to be able to regulate our government, you know.
Yeah.
And so some people would argue whatever they can have, we should be able to possess as civilians.
Right.
I don't know. It's one of those things like there's no good outcome because, okay, so you could then limit what our military can have so that way it's, you know, safer for civilians to have. But then now you're sacrificing the country's safety against any, you know, potential wars.
Right.
Or you could give everybody a tank and a drone and, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Which,
so
how could that lead to anything good at all?
Right, yeah. So, yeah, I don't think there's any way that militia would do anything to the government.
I just think it's hilarious every time I see something online of, they'll never take my guns, come and get them. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like, they could if they wanted to.
Right.
Extremely quickly.
I think the only way that, like, something radical could happen is if it came from, like, within the military.
Sure.
Rogue military.
Yeah.
Which you've seen, you know, we've seen in other countries.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah. Now I'm just going on a crazy trail in my brain. You know about like solar flares from the sun? Apparently every couple, like 100 or a couple thousand years, we get hit with a massive solar flare from the sun, and it kills all electronics. Because if you look at satellite pictures of the sun, these solar flares that like come off the sun and like loop back around, do you know what I'm talking about? It's like a bubble popping.
Okay.
And then you see just like the outline of the bubble on the sun. And then they go down, and then like another one comes up and goes down. But if you were to scale those to the Earth, they're larger than the Earth is. Those little compared to the sun bubbles. So if one of those gets really big, which apparently it does every couple thousand years, and it comes and it knocks out or it has the potential to knock out electronics.
From 1,000 years ago.
But if there had been electronics 1,000 years ago, it would have knocked it out. Right? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But we're apparently due for one. And if it did happen, it would be months before we would get everything back up and running. So if that were to happen, just imagine every grid everywhere going down and what would happen there.
Yeah.
Like, we wouldn't be able to function.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it, like, well, one, everyone's money basically is in a bank.
Yeah.
And I access it electronically. So I would have no money.
Yeah, no money.
Which, you know, I feel like some people in that situation, some people would find that very valuable or could care less, like, about your money.
Right.
Some people would be like, well, eventually, hopefully we'll get this fixed. I'll take the money that you have.
Right. Yeah.
Or whatever. But yeah, so like nobody would have any money.
You wouldn't be able to go anywhere because your car wouldn't start.
True.
Eventually,
Glad I have a bicycle.
Pedal everywhere. But you wouldn't be able to have running water in your house because your pumps wouldn't work.
You know who would be set up, though?
Who?
The Amish.
Yeah, definitely.
They probably wouldn't even know.
Yeah.
Like, besides the people around them.
They'd be like, there's not a lot of cars out today.
Right? Because you think, like, yeah, like, unless you had a garden, we wouldn't have any food.
Yeah. And what you did have would go bad unless you have a whole bunch of, like, non-perishables in your basement or something.
Yeah. Gotta become Amish or get some Amish friends.
Yeah. Or raid some Amish farms.
They're pacifists. So.
Hey,
I'm taking your carrots.
This and your horse and see ya. What's crazy about Amish is a lot of them have cell phones.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
If you don't live, we live in Amish country, kind of.
Yeah.
It's probably the most heavily Amish populated part of Ohio, I would say. But if you don't live in Amish country, then it's kind of a weird thing to see, you know. But we, like, traffic for us is we'll get stuck behind a buggy and not be able to pass because, like, you can't see over the next hill or whatever, and it's so frustrating.
It really is.
But a lot of buggies or a lot of Amish have cell phones,
especially the ones in Rumspringa.
Yeah. Well, Rumspringa is you can get whatever you want.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like I used to work with a whole bunch of Amish, and it's crazy how many have smartphones. And
to me, it's just like pick a lane.
Right.
Like, because it's all dependent on what their bishop says, and then also how strict that they want to follow that. But
right.
But like, if you want to be like, growing up, I forget that people's name. It was a family friend of ours, but they were Amish, and they had a closet in their living room for whenever like any other Amish or their bishop comes over, that they could wheel their TV into and hide it. So it's like, you know,
a lot of Amish have like solar power. I think a big thing with some of the Amish around here is they're allowed to have electricity as long as it doesn't come from the main line. So if they can get their own via solar power, they're allowed to have it.
Or if they don't own it.
Yeah.
That's a big loophole too.
Yeah. A lot of Amish buy like boats and big trucks, and then they just have friends that are either ex-Amish or...
It's in their name.
Yeah, it's in their name, and it's crazy, man. Just skirting Amish law, I guess. But, shoot, I was going to say one more thing about that, about the Amish. Oh, yeah. So one time, this is a little bit of a story. It won't take long, and then we'll wrap up, because we're getting close to our self-imposed
We have 3
time.
hours now.
I guess. He doesn't have to play music.
That's right. For our back row listeners.
But yeah, one time I was sitting at a campfire at my parents' house. We were just sitting around, and we just hear like off in the distance, and it's just very, 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 very slowly getting louder. I'm like, what is that? And it's slowly getting louder, slowly getting louder. We realize it's bass. And why is it? Where is that coming from? Why is it building so slowly? And then all of a sudden, underneath that, you hear the clap, 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 clappity, clap, clappity, clap of a horse. And this Amish buggy eventually drives by, blasting bass. So apparently, he just got a car battery and a radio, hooked it up to that, and got some subs.
Whatever works.
That poor horse. What the heck is going on? I don't like Lil Wayne. That's how white I am. I just said Lil Wayne. Have you heard of this Lil Wayne fella?
Oh, shoot. Well.
Hey, Brian from Ireland.
Still haven't heard from you.
Still haven't heard from you. What's up, bud? You okay?
Although, has that episode aired yet?
Oh, has it? I don't know.
I don't remember if it was.
I'm all confused with how we do stuff now.
I know.
I'm barely holding it together, man.
But Brian, by the time you hear this,
yeah,
hopefully you've reached out.
Balls in your court, Brian.
That's right. The turns have tabled.
Oh, how the turntables. Hey, thank you so much, guys, for listening to You're My Friend podcast. We're on Back Row Radio. We're kind of the morning show hosts, I guess.
On Fridays.
On Fridays.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mixed in with some good music. But
yeah, for sure.
You can find us on Twitter at My Friend Podcast.
He just put Emery on there, too.
Did he?
Yeah.
That's sweet.
I love Emery. Put some heavier stuff on there, like Silent Planet or August Burns Red. Boss man. Actually, I think there is August Burns Red on there.
Is there?
Yeah, but you can email us in at itrustyoupodcast@gmail.com.
We would love to hear from you.
We would really love to hear from you.
You guys are really our only friends.
So sad. Well, sorry to bum you guys out right at the tail end. Whoops.
Just two dudes having a conversation. You're my friend and I trust you.